Old Indian defense, Ukrainian, 2 knights variation, 4, NBD 75.G3B76.BG2007.00C68.QC2. Giveaway. One player was winning, but then gave it away. That game was pretty competitive. The opening was balanced. That was a well-fought middle game that white got the better of. The players battled pretty evenly in the endgame. Opening with the queen's pawn. d6 defends the e5 square and allows the light-squared bishop to develop. c4 obtains room on the queen side and center and gets ready to advance the knight to c3. The d4 pawn is attacked by e5, which occupies space in the center. This makes winning a pawn a possibility. This protects the attacked pawn. By doing this, a knight moves out of its beginning square and into the action. This develops a knight from its starting square, activating it. g3 prepares to fianchetto the f1 bishop. By growing a bishop from its initial square, this activates it. As a result, the bishop grows and gains flexibility on the long diagonal. Castling gets the king to a safer square, out of the center of the board, while also developing a rook. Castling kingside tends to be safer because the king is further from the center. Castling gets the king to a safer square, out of the center of the board, while also developing a rook. Castling to the same side of the board as the opponent avoids some of the attacking associated with opposite side castling. This activates a queen by developing it off of its starting square. By doing this, a queen moves off of its beginning square and into the action. Games Master. It is the final book action. Among the best actions. It is quite good. While not a mistake, that is also not the wisest course of action. That's good. It's alright. That's good. That's a decent move. That's good. This poses the risk of producing a passed pawn. It is incorrect. This misses a chance to imply that gaining a knight is possible. It is incorrect. This uses a pawn to attack the center while vying for position. It is ideal. This exchange is fair. It is quite good. Recaptures. It is ideal. The knight is now located at an outpost, a safe area inside the enemy's territory. It is quite good. The queen is therefore moved to safety. That's good. A powerful play. It is quite good. This is a missed chance to use a knight to take an outpost. It is incorrect. After all captures, this is an equal trade. This is the only move that works. It is best. This keeps the material balance in check with good commerce. It is ideal. While not a mistake, that is also not the wisest course of action. That's good. The rooks are linked by this, making it easier for them to work together in the future. It is quite good. This is how you take the pawn. It is quite good. Backs off. It is ideal. That pawn was available for free. It is ideal. The game was almost evenly matched, but black is now worse. It is incorrect. Recaptures. It is ideal. This exposes a knight assault. It is ideal. This ignores a more effective method for getting a knight to safety. It is incorrect. This ignores a safer approach to moving a queen. It is incorrect. This misses a chance to raise the possibility of winning a bishop. That falls flat. The queen is therefore moved to safety. It is ideal. This is not the best approach. It is incorrect. Although the score was nearly equal, white now has the upper hand. It is incorrect. Backs off. It is ideal. Recaptures. It is ideal. This buys time by putting a rook in danger and getting it to flee. This raises the possibility of an eventual checkmate. It is quite good. This wastes a chance to relocate a rook to safety. It is incorrect. The best choice is this one. It is ideal. This turns the pawn into a passed pawn, which means no other pawn may oppose it as it advances. It is ideal. This is the only good move. It is a great move. By doing this, a bishop may be tied to the king. It is ideal. Thus, a bishop is won. It is ideal. Very precise. It is best. Backs off. It is ideal. This displays a queen attack. It is ideal. This is the only move that works. It is a great move. Recaptures. Black is losing because the endgame has begun. It's compelled. This captures a bishop and eliminates a threat. This is the only good move. It is best. Perfectly on point. It is ideal. By moving it from the back rank, this activates the king in the endgame. That's good. A wise decision. It is quite good. The bishop is now in a secure position. That's good. A rook is positioned behind a passed pawn as a result, assisting in its promotion. That's good. That is a logical response. It is quite good. It's all right. That's good. That's a decent move. That's good. A pawn kicks the opposing rook, forcing it to move or risk being captured. That's good. The rook is now in a safe position. That's good. What I would have advised is that it is ideal. As a result, the bishop may now control more squares because it is in a better position. It is quite good. In the endgame, an active king is essential, and removing it from the rear rank is the first step. That's good. Among the best actions. It is quite good. While not a mistake, that is also not the wisest course of action. That's good. It's all right. That's good. That's a decent move. That's good. While not a mistake, that is also not the wisest course of action. That's good. It's all right. That's good. This moves the checking pawn farther away. That's good. That's a decent move. That's good. The best choice is this one. It is ideal. It is a fair deal after all captures. That's good. Very precise. It is best. This strikes a rival rook. It is ideal. The rook is now on a square that is more secure. It is ideal. This defends the attacked pawn. This threatens to kick a rook. It is excellent. A powerful play. It is quite good. The pawn is now suitably protected. That's good. Perfectly on point. It is ideal. This avoids the rook's check. It's compelled. This gives away a free rook. It is a blunder. Giveaway one player was winning, but then gave it away. That game was pretty competitive. The opening was balanced. That was a well-fought middle game that White got the better of. The players battled pretty evenly in the endgame.